Well, I mean, that was supposed to be his comeback, and that failed.
You mean to tell me his comeback wasn't just Regular Vacation starring Ed Helms?
I was go.
And that, as much as anything else, led to my drinking problem.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Paul Workman. I am the man of constant hatred.
And I'm Manny Classic, and this is Drinking Age Movies, a review show where we review movies from 21 years ago.
And this week we say happy 21st birthday to a film that was the final nail in the coffin of Chevy Chase's career. That's right, we're watching Vegas Vacation.
Look out, America! The Griswolds are ready to get away.
To fantastic Las Vegas!
But there's some things they just can't get away from.
Cousins! Can you believe it? They used to test H-bombs on this beautiful piece of property.
Don't you worry about radiation.
All I know, Clark, is that my teeth have never been whiter and my garden is spitting out 50-pound tomatoes.
Vegas Vacation was released on Valentine's Day in 1997. The director is Stephen Kessler, starring Chevy Chase as Clark Griswold, Beverly D'Angelo as Ellen Griswold, Ethan Embry and Meryl Nichols as his kids in this film, and Randy Quaid reprises his cousin Eddie. Budget of $25 million, distributed by Warner Brothers.
Vegas Vacation stars Chevy Chase as Clark Griswold, who gets a bonus from his company and takes his family to Vegas for a vacation. Hijinks ensue. 21 years later, what are we looking at impact?
So, of course, prior to this, you got the better vacation films, but afterwards you still get the Ed Helms-driven movie.
I've never even heard of the original Vacation.
Doesn't matter. The new Vacation will stand on its own. Okay?
Maybe 20 years after this.
I think it was 2015, so 18 years.
18 years. So, you at least get one more movie out. But
you also get, I believe, a direct-to-DVD sequel to Christmas Vacation.
Eddie, you can't swim!
Man, that sounds awful.
Yeah, which I believe is all about Cousin Eddie.
21 years on, I don't think there's a lot of fond remembrance of this film. It's not the best sequel. The original is probably the best, so I don't think much about Vegas Vacation now.
Yeah, you get European Vacation, which was fine. You get Christmas Vacation, which I think is probably the most famous of the sequels.
Yep.
The most well remembered of the sequels. It's still a pretty shaky film with a lot of iffy comedy in it, but and then you get this one in '97, and yeah, There's a few things I remember from the film, but I didn't remember much of the film myself in terms of impact. In terms of personal impact, it left such little impact on me. I thought David Faustino from Married with Children played Russ Griswold in this film. Don't know why. Couldn't tell you. So yeah, impact very minimal.
Yep.
Very minimal. Okay, overall, how do we look at this film?
So, in terms of kind of precedent set by the previous Vacation movies, it's what I feel is probably the next logical step.
Yeah.
You've done, like you said, you did Vacation, you had European Vacation, Christmas Vacation. The next logical step is to pick a destination, Vegas being kind of the glitz and glamour kind of thing. Makes sense logically for this to be the next movie. There were some elements of the film that looked great. There's parts of Vegas that really popped.
Mm-hmm.
There were some jokes that really hit, but the rest of the movie's kind of flat.
Yeah. The jokes that hit really, really hit. They're really funny. Like, if something made me laugh in the film, it was a pretty good belly laugh. It wasn't just like a chuckle. It really got me. But that was so far in between. There was a joke about Ellen says to her cousin, who's married to Cousin Eddie, that at least she's not pregnant. And the cousin starts crying, and she says, "I've been testing fertility drugs. I think this one's going to be good."
Yeah.
It really got me, and it took me so off balance that I just laughed for probably a good straight minute off of that one.
Yeah, realistically, a lot of the jokes that really hit aren't done by the main cast, but Wallace Shawn, who I don't believe has been a bad part of any movie he's been in.
No, I can't think of anything Wallace Shawn's done that's been a disappointment. I mean, as far as Wallace Shawn.
Yeah, his part. So there's a really great scene where Clark is at the blackjack table that Wallace Shawn has been running back and forth, and Clark is on a abysmal losing streak. He comes back in with even more money, and Wallace Shawn just looks at him and he goes, "Griswold, how about you just give me half the money you're going to bet? I take you out back, I kick you in the nuts, and we call it a day."
Here's an idea. Why don't you give me half the money you were going to bet? Then we'll go out back, I'll kick you in the nuts, and we'll call it a day.
It's such... Because of Wallace Shawn's just genius comedic timing, it's brilliant. It's everything you expect this Weasley, real snide, real asshole-ish, just Vegas dealer to be, and Wallace Shawn plays it perfectly.
Just delivers. It's probably the best performance in the entire film.
Yeah.
Just because it's possibly just because it's Wallace Shawn, but he really oversells his part, and he just stands out from everything. I mean, I loved it so much. I have my notes right here, and in my notes it says Wallace Shawn is the best.
That's actually what that reads right now.
Because that man is a comedic genius. I just what else can you say about him?
I said
And speaking of some really good comedic performances, out of the family, I think Ethan Embry really stuck out a lot in this film. And it's interesting too because he doesn't say a lot, especially through the beginning. But he's so hilariously awkward through the movie, just the entire movie, that the facial expressions he gives, just the way he reacts to things, it's just generally charming.
Yeah. One thing that I really noted about Ethan Embry is his awkwardness goes all the way down to whoever their costume designer was. The light spoiler, but his movie arc is him attempting to get a fake ID and eventually getting a fake ID, and in taking on this persona of the fake ID that he receives, he changes himself as a whole, and that costuming department makes him Vegas slick, like old school kind of Vegas slick, but in the most awkward way possible with these bright flashy colors. He shows up in a yellow blazer at one point. So there's some really great choices being done behind the scenes.
Even to a point that when the film's wrapping up and the family's getting back together, they Chevy Chase goes in and physically pulls him out of a hot tub filled with women. And they pull him out of that hot tub, and his trunks are these like leopard print trunks that are just a good joke in themselves, honestly. Yeah. But I mean, the rest of the family, they're there. They turn in pretty okay performances. Beverly D'Angelo and Chevy Chase. I feel like he did his best with how awful they make Clark.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, through Vacation and Christmas Vacation, he's kind of a greedy guy. He's kind of a Weasley guy. He lies to people and he doesn't do the right thing all the time. But in the original films, I never really saw him as a really stupid man.
Mm-hmm.
And this film, I think they really tried to play him up as a really stupid man, and it really doesn't work. It detracts a lot from the film.
Yeah, the first few movies, I think, put him in ridiculous situations more as a conniving everyman.
Yeah, he's real downtrodden, real conniving, yeah.
While this movie puts him in what is probably the most normal of situations, given Vegas and propensity for people to gamble and stuff like that, but makes him the stupid situation that happens. And I don't think it did any real favors to Chevy Chase as an actor or Clark Griswold as a character 4 movies in.
Yeah, and to the point that whoever made the 2015 Vacation film obviously only watched this film because he's the exact same character from this film to that film 18 years later.
Yeah.
It's a real disappointment, honestly. Like, as good as the original Vacation is, and as fondly as most people remember Christmas Vacation, it's a real disappointment to see that character go so far down into whatever hole that they put him in this film.
Yeah, the only real serious laugh I got from Chevy Chase's performance wasn't even necessarily a comedic joke. It was him talking about meta, how he doesn't recognize his kids anymore, kind of lambasting the fact that the words that lambasting the fact that his actors who have played his children in each movie have been different.
Yeah, all 4 films.
Yeah. All 5 if you count the 2015.
All 5 if you count 2015, which I wish we wouldn't have brought up because I'm trying not to remember that film. Yeah, and speaking of that, there's a lot of callback humor in this film. Callbacks to the children looking different. Christy Brinkley shows back up in this one as the woman in the red car from the original Vacation. And it's essentially the same joke, except now she has a baby and her license plate says Mama.
Mm-hmm.
That's supposed to be funny.
Yeah. A lot of little bit performances. Julia Sweeney plays the receptionist at the hotel that they stay in and gives them these ridiculous directions to their room.
Which, as I was reading, are apparently very correct directions. Those are real directions to get to their room.
So this is actually in my notes. Julia Sweeney, receptionist, funny gag, but actuality, real directions to the accurate Mirage Casino. You get a few other cameos that really kind of date the film. Mm-hmm. At one point, the aforementioned Wallace Shawn blackjack dealer relieves another dealer named Wendy, who was Wendy the Snapple lady in the commercials for Snapple drink that were popular in the mid-90s.
I'm going to say, I was trying to figure out who she was, and there it is.
Yeah. She didn't even change the name, because in the commercial, she was Wendy the Snapple lady.
Yeah.
It might just be her real name. Who knows?
Apparently, later on in the film, Chevy Chase ends up going to this silly casino, where they have, like, paper, scissors, rock, and guess which hand is the object in, and war. And apparently the war dealer in there was an actual card dealer.
Okay.
Who was in a few other films, including Casino.
He was also the blackjack dealer in Rain Man.
In Rain Man, there you go. So
yeah.
he was an actual blackjack dealer for about 20 or so years, and he just got put in a bunch of films because apparently he was really good at it.
There you go. Sid Caesar. This is his last film that he's in.
Yep.
All the years I've waited for this. Years. I've been coming every year. Never won once, and now I won. The money is mine. I have the money. The money is mine.
He has a very short kind of cameo towards the end of the movie, which ultimately creates the resolution of the film.
And honestly, it was nice to see Sid Caesar, and he did a nice little performance in it.
Yeah,
definitely not a wasted Sid Caesar cameo.
It's honestly a truly emotional moment in a movie that is just silliness.
Yeah, absolute silliness.
I won the money.
I mentioned it in Beverly Hills Ninja,
which you can still watch on the channel.
Yes, and you can like and comment on it as well if you would like. When music choices in films are real poor to me, they stand out in really bad ways. The Beverly Hills Ninja, like every music cue was too on the nose, and in this film you're in Vegas, so every single song has to be Sinatra or Dean Martin or the Rat Pack.
Including all of Old Vegas Rat Pack originals. Just all of them.
All of them, including the fact that I believe I heard Ain't Love a Kick in the Head by Dean Martin twice.
Mm-hmm.
Twice. So, it's like, yeah, we get we're in Vegas, and we get it was Sinatra's town, but just give us one Sinatra song when they come into town. And then, I mean, I love Sinatra. I really love Sinatra.
Yeah.
But when you beat me over the head with the fact that you're in Vegas and it's Sinatra, I can tire of Sinatra very fast.
It's really unusual to me there weren't more Wayne Newton songs for the amount of film exposure that Wayne Newton has in this movie.
Yeah, he had 2 songs in the one scene that you see him perform in, and then you don't hear any more Wayne Newton.
Yeah.
It's a real shame.
The scene where they're eating in the dining room,
Mm-hmm.
actually Wayne Newton's house. Yeah.
I've been trying to figure out if the living room was also his with the comically large pasta bowls.
I hope so. Wayne Newton, let us know how large your pasta bowls are.
Please.
In the comments.
I really like to know. Yeah, this wasn't a laughless film. It wasn't without any joy. There was some shining spots in it. But when it wasn't shining, which I'm going to say was probably about 15 minutes total of a hour and a half runtime, it's really dull. It's really, really dull. And not even in that groaner kind of way. It just lays flat. Like, the jokes aren't even bad enough to be really bad. They're just there. They're just humor for the sake of humor. I guess based on our rating scale, I'm going pretty damn bad.
Like I said, there's some laughs that are very, very good, hearty belly laughs. There's some really great behind-the-scenes choices, costuming and stuff like that, especially for Ethan Embry's character. Hour and a half movie, 10 minutes of laughs. Honestly, that's 1/8 of a movie, which is better than most movies. Just says some real awful stuff about movies, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say it's based on our scale. I'm gonna go damn average.
Tell us what you think. Did you like Vegas Vacation? Did you hate Vegas Vacation? Do you never ever want to see Vegas again after seeing this movie? Leave a comment down below.
Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can press the bell icon at the lower half of your screen in order to get notifications to let you know when we put new videos out.
And as always, have a damn fine day.